Now you guys claim to be very rational, very logical, very intelligent and intellectual. So I want to address this point today. Now the Quran is a profound book.
So is the Satanic Bible and Mein Kampf.
I'm not going to use any external logical arguments. I'm going to give you an argument from the Quran itself. Now in chapter 52, verse 35 and 36, or were they created by nothing? Or were they the creators of themselves? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Three logical possibilities.
None of which are the real answer. We humans came from organisms that were simpler than us. And those organisms came from even simpler organisms. And those come from simpler and simpler and simpler organisms. If you keep going, eventually you'll get to an organism that is so simple that it can and did come out of natural chemical reactions that were likely to happen given the circumstances of the Earth at that time. So we didn't come from nothing, and we didn't come from ourselves. We came from chemistry.
Let's apply this logical deduction to the universe. The universe began to exist.
No, it didn't. All of the mass and energy that exists in the universe today has always existed.
We can validate this empirically and philosophically. For example, Professor Valentin, who's a leading cosmologist of the 21st century, he has clearly stated the universe began to exist.
So he doesn't provide any argument that the universe began to exist. He simply points us to the words of this professor, who I couldn't find any information about, mostly because I don't know how to spell his name, but in essence, I don't even know if he exists. But even then, he said that he just stated it. Not necessarily that he provided proof of it. But believe it or not, just because somebody says something does not mean that it's true, even if that person is a professor.
Right, so now let's look at this. Let's apply this logical deduction to the universe.
Well, the universe is different. The universe always existed. It never began to exist, as per the law of conservation of mass and the law of conservation of energy. Even before the Big Bang, everything was held in a singularity, an infinitely dense spot.
What was the first option? Or were they created by nothing? Can the universe come from nothing? Could something come from nothing?
So at this point, he starts arguing with random people on the street, quite frankly, who aren't well versed in philosophy, and who are obviously not good at arguing. And he starts asking them if anything can come out of nothing, but this is no way to go about figuring out how the universe came to be.
Let's move on. Out of nothing, nothing comes. Philosophers have agreed for centuries. Out of nothing, nothing comes. Nothing by itself cannot create nothing. Now what's the second option? God said, or were they the creators of themselves? Now the first option is illogical. The first option is illogical. Out of nothing, nothing comes. The second option is not only illogical, but it's a self-contradiction.
And yes, that is a contradiction because you need to exist before you existed. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a false dichotomy.
See the hecklers here, the atheist hecklers here, all they can do is heckle. They cannot address the points.
But that's because these are literally just random people on the street. These guys aren't versed in philosophy, much less arguing against fallacies. So he goes on with the usual, there has to be an uncreated creator and that's my specific God. And then he attempts to argue more with the crowd who quite frankly doesn't make any sense. And then the video quickly fades to black. So after all that work, none of these people became Muslim and you've only proven what we've already known, and that's that Lord Brahma created the universe.